I know this might come off as a complete surprise to a lot of you, but one of my favorite build styles in The Sims 4 just so happens to be eco homes. There's something so satisfying about creating a home that literally doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I do believe imperfections are perfections when it comes to these types of homes. So today we are here with a brand new speed build. We're actually going to be creating a family eco home for 4Sims in particular. These 4Sims are actually featured in my eco lifestyle LP. So if you guys watch that LP, you already know the family is growing. So we had to move out of our iconic container home into something a little more spacious, but not too spacious. In fact, I never thought I'd ever see the day that Ben and Marlo would be moving into a modern family home and ditching their old digs. Now, in the last episode, you guys were giving me wonderful suggestions in terms of what home they should move into. I was really anxious around the fact that they were going to lose their aesthetic, their vibe, because literally like the whole eco lifestyle is their it is their forte. It's what they're known for. So you guys were giving me a few different suggestions on homes that Simlissy had built. Unfortunately, a lot of those homes are out of our price range, and I also wanted to be a little more hands-on when it came to creating their home. So I decided to pop on over to Simlissy's YouTube page and watch a few of her eco builds just to see if maybe I could learn some tips and tricks just to make my experience a little bit easier. And honestly, I found so many helpful tips to really bring this build to the next level. So of course, I will go ahead and link Dawn's YouTube page in the description down below in case you guys are interested in checking her out. She is a literal building genius. You guys will not be disappointed, and maybe you'll learn something from her videos like I did. Anyways, diving straight on in, we are just creating the shell of the home. Don't worry, I will be definitely changing up the exterior. We're not going to be having this shiplap throughout the entire space because that's just it's a little overbearing. Also, side note, I might be a little distracted because currently the landscapers are outside, and I swear to God they do this every Tuesday. I should know by now at this exact time. I don't know why I'm even surprised. Working on the interior was definitely intriguing, even though this particular home has a lot of square space. I still feel like it flows quite nicely, even though, as you guys can see, I'm kind of flipping from the interior to the exterior quite often. It's just because I'm trying to kind of like piece this together a little bit like a jigsaw a jigsaw puzzle. And also, we did go originally with a two-story wall height. I don't know if that's the correct way to say it, but I did end up dropping it down a notch just because I was having a lot of issues with the cabinetry and all that jazz, and I just think in the end it does look a lot nicer. So one of the things I actually learned from Dawn's video was the use of these square stone pavers. Now you guys probably saw me pull them out of my catalog, because if you actually save rooms, believe it or not, I did not know this until recently, and this is like the weirdest thing, but if you save rooms or heart rooms or favorite rooms from the gallery, and you actually go into the room tool on build by mode, they will be in your little saved folder, so you can actually just pull them up anytime you're in build mode, which is actually really useful. So I've created a few different room bundles that feature quite a few different things. I have pavers, I've got like some of the assets from Nifty Knitting, and then also I have, like I've mentioned a million times, some landscaping tools just to make that whole process a lot easier, especially if you're not that experienced with landscaping. Give them a look. They're on the gallery at Gen 2606, and again, this just makes it so much easier for me personally to pull these up out of the room catalog versus going through debug where they originally came from. And so I decided to utilize those stone pavers in the front of the house, as I have seen her done a few times, and I just felt like that was a unique twist on kind of creating a more modern entryway. And then again, I did this in the back of the house. Now I'll be honest with you guys, I am not, by no means am I a professional builder, and so I'm still kind of figuring this whole thing out as I go, and I make a lot of mistakes, and I have no problem sharing those with you guys. It's kind of what makes us human, and it's kind of part of the process, right? So in the back, it's a hot mess when it comes to these pavers. You'll see that I try to make it flow as smoothly as I possibly could, but I definitely feel like I could benefit from kind of working on it a little bit more. I don't know. So for the exterior, there are 2 balconies or kind of like outdoor spaces. I mean, 3 technically if you count the deck in the back, but we're really not counting that. And I love the whole kind of having like an outdoor space off of the dinette, because then that way if your Sims want to enjoy the elements, they totally can. So that's kind of like a cool little space. And then upstairs off of Kale's bedroom, he has his own private balcony, which I might utilize a little bit later. So you'll see right now, I'm still kind of figuring out the vibes. I'm adding in a bunch of debug items. This comes again from my little pack that's on my gallery. And I feel like these 2 packs together work very nicely because all the items are about the same, same tone. And I again, like Dawn had mentioned in one of her videos, and I think this is definitely key when doing landscaping, limit how many how many colors you implement into your landscaping, because it can kind of look very displaced when you start adding in like a bunch of variety, especially when it comes to plants. So I kind of limit my selection to about, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 different assets. I also added in these cute little tall shrubs. I have no idea what they're called, just to kind of create a little dimension within the landscaping. And I like it back here. It's tight though. That's the unfortunate part. I was really hoping maybe I could throw down a pool, or I could have more back to our activities for the kids, because we do have Honcho, our cow plant, and also a number of different eco lifestyle activities, such as the fizzing machine and also the candle maker. It's cramped. It really is. And of course, if you do decide to download this house, you can tailor make it to your needs, but naturally, because this is for an LP, it's tailor made to mine. So I wanted to go ahead and make it extra small in the back. Now I'm just playing. I wanted to kind of add a little more separation from the backyard to the surrounding elements by throwing in this super duper cheap fence. I was really worried about money, even though I had 70,000 simoleons in the bank and a lot of the objects I'm using are relatively inexpensive. I just figured I would go with this cheaper option. I'm almost thinking though I might upgrade this, but I kind of like the fact that it looks a little distressed and also displaced from the rest of the house. Like maybe it was like locally resourced from like an old house or something. I don't know. Anyways, we are going to kind of zhoosh up the exterior. I'm feeling like it's a little flat. And so I wanted to add in, I don't know what these are called, but they're like these little like wood beams, like vertical wood beams. So I added those on the inside of the house like so. And then I wanted to add in another awning and throw up a couple planters up there. Of course, we need to illuminate the exterior, so I'm throwing some really nice little, I don't know what these are called, like puck lights. I don't even think I've ever said that on my channel, the word puck. Actually, I'm kidding. I had a sim named Puck. Never mind. Did I? Was his name Puck or Buck? I can't remember. Anyways, moving on. So I threw in a couple of those just to illuminate the walkways, make it a little more modern, a little more fancy. Of course, this is eco lifestyle we're talking about. So I threw in a couple solar panels, and then like I mentioned earlier, we have a few different wall lights. Now I do actually alternate the wallpapers for the exterior. So what you're seeing now isn't the final product, what you'll be seeing on the gallery, as an afterthought. Okay. I decided to kind of switch it up a little bit just so it flowed a lot better. I wanted to add in these vertical beams to the back too, but then I just thought it was like really busy. And I couldn't find a place to put Honcho. I was going to put him in the front because, you know, some Sims, they have a watchdog. We have a watch cow plant, and literally he is the cutest thing ever. I love him to bits and bobs, but then I thought that's quite intimidating, and we just moved to the neighborhood, and I'm pretty sure the homeowners or so wouldn't approve, so we had to move him to the back. But also, like, what a good way to, like, you know, what a good way to, like, ward off robbers, right? I mean, if they even existed. So adding a little bit of terrain paint, just to kind of add some dimension to the landscaping. I wanted to throw a little bit of detail behind the swing there. I don't know why I decided to go with a swing. I feel like I typically gravitate towards the monkey bars, and to be honest with you, it is something I literally never use. I never use the monkey bars, and I feel like the whole family, minus Blossom because she's a toddler, could use them this way. Adding in some beams to support the balcony. I'm not sure if this is a good idea or it wasn't, to be completely frank with you, but also I'm thinking safety first, because that is Kale's balcony and I am not trying to catch a lawsuit here, okay? I didn't know what to do for the interior. I didn't know if I wanted to go with wood or I wanted to go with slate or I wanted to like just scrap the entire build at this point because I was feeling rather frustrated. So literally at this point we're just winging it, and I did alternate the tile. I don't know if it's slate or if it's like what is the other word, like ceramic tiles. I alternated them through the house, and at the end I do like the way that it panned out. I'm going to be changing the doors, so what you're seeing here don't count on. And as you guys can see, I also decided to section off the entryway so that I could use this as a focal point for the house, but also kind of break up some of those wood tones a little bit. I was going to originally put that in the kitchen, but I felt like it was just too much. Like it was kind of overbearing, so we threw it in the walkway, and we'll come back to that a little bit later on. So if you're familiar with our previous house, as you guys know, we had a very industrial kitchen. I liked that look. I felt like that look would also look really nice in this house in particular, but I decided to kind of flip the script a little bit, and instead of using the darker tones in the swatch panel for this particular kitchen set, I decided to lighten it up a little bit. Now I did use these Parenthood bar stools originally. Just totally scrap them from your mind, because I actually go with a much better option a little bit later on. Now everything is kind of looking a little minimalistic right now, very just kind of, you know, chill when it comes to the colors. Nothing too crazy, nothing popping off, nothing standing out too much. So I wanted to implement seafoam into this build for whatever reason, and I like it. This truly might be my new favorite color. Don't worry, I do discover a little bit later on that there is an actual seafoam swatch for the plant, which I use a little too much in this build, I'll admit. But for the seating arrangement, I decided to go ahead and put one of these huge tables, because the Daleys love to entertain, and that was one of the biggest issues in the previous home, is we didn't have the space and we didn't have, well, the seats either. So I was feeling a little discombobulated about this space until I threw in that gorgeous shelving unit that really tied in the elements from the kitchen being a little more industrial, down to the wood tones from the diner set, and then also just to kind of implement dining set. I don't even know what I just said, but to implement a little bit of color, I went in with this painting that I feel is beautiful. It's purposely off center. Like I said, I didn't really want everything to be like super mixy matchy. And I think I end up removing the tart bowl off the table, but now well, it's called tart when you look it up in the search bar, but it's literally like a thing of lemons. I think I might go back and put that in there. I really liked it. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so for the foyer, if you fancy, I wanted it's a common space, and I have this rule of thumb about common spaces. I do not like to make them super cluttered. I know you can, but I personally don't like to, because I feel like this is kind of like the transition from room to room in some instances, and it kind of just breaks up the chaos. So I kept it very minimalistic, and I like the way that it turned out. For the living room, I feel like it really does look very similar to the previous living room. Maybe it's the fact that I used the exact same furniture almost, minus a few different details, but I don't hate it, because again, I really did like that living room, and this home isn't about completely having a different house entirely, especially if they did bring some of their furniture from the previous house. It almost makes sense, you know? So I threw in a little desk from Tiny Living, added in some shelving. Finally, we have a place for our computer. We're no longer using it at the dining room table. Not that that's a problem or anything. And I also used the ceramic fireplace. Is that what it is? I don't know. I love this fireplace. I think it's such a beautiful piece. The only thing that I don't like about it is you can't place a TV overhead. Now, not that my family are big TV watchers or anything, but a little spoiler alert, Ben was actually able to convince Marlo to allow them to have a TV in their bedroom now that Sims can relax from the comfort of their bed. I noticed the landscapers coming back, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm so close. Like, just leave me alone, you know? But it's whatever. Hopefully you guys can't hear them. So I'm just adding in a couple light fixtures, and we're gonna tackle the bathrooms next. So another rule of thumb, I don't know if any of this is helpful to you, is if I have, for instance, 3 bedrooms in a house, I will always have one less bathroom. So if I have a 2-bedroom house, I'll have one bathroom. If I have a 3-bedroom house, I'll have 2 bathrooms, yada, 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 so on and so forth. You get it, if the budget allows. So for this particular home, we do actually have 2 bathrooms, very similar to the previous house, and one will be downstairs and then one will also be upstairs. And I feel like this should suffice, I hope, but only time will truly tell. So moving on to Ben and Mars bedroom. As you guys can see, we're staying very true to the seafoam green theme that is flowing throughout the house. I didn't know what to put over the headboard, so ultimately I went with the sculpture that was in their previous house, which for some reason every time I put it up, it literally mind blows the hell out of me that thing's a dinosaur, because like for some reason I keep forgetting. I really do try to find something else though before I actually end up settling with that, but I think it's cute and it kind of just ties into the whole bedroom really well. We're gonna move upstairs to work on the children's bedrooms and children's bedrooms, and also finish up that bathroom. It's gonna be basically identical to the one below it, and I ended up actually using the the Parenthood shower / tub combo, or is it just a shower? I actually can't remember, to be honest with you. Anyways, we are gonna be starting off with Kale's bedroom. Now I do actually have a mod installed that allows my sim to have a favorite color. The cool thing about it is it can be at random, or you can select it if you'd like, but Kale's favorite color by random just so happens to be blue. So I was originally going to make the entire room blue by starting off with the walls, but then I decided why not actually focus the blue on the furniture instead. I found this really cute bed, and then I decided to go and throw in a few different pops of color, and the color that I decided to choose was yellow because blue and yellow contrast very, very well. I don't really have a lot of stuff in Kale's bedroom because he's actually going to become a teen rather soon, so I was kind of gearing it more towards a tween bedroom rather than a child. I really do wish we had like that in-between life state, I'm not gonna lie to you. Also, he is from Mount Como, so I wanted to incorporate a few different things in there as well, so you guys will see me totally just digging through the Snowy Escape catalog here in just a freaking quick second. And there's also something, this is the something that really surprised me. So by default, it just looks like some sort of terrarium, but it's actually an aquarium of all things. I know, like mind freaking blown. I also decided to throw up the little like ski rack where he's like hanging a small little backpack, some of his outerwear gear. I would really like to get Kale into snowboarding, especially in the future. Like he's a very hands-on type of sim. He's very like smart and just, I don't know, outgoing, and he has so much life to live. He's in scouts. Like, I'm so excited to see who he's going to be when he's older, I swear. So we're moving on to Little Miss Blossom's room. Originally, I was going to go for purple, but then I decided to make it blue, which now, in retrospect, I feel was a rather dumb idea because literally Kale's room is blue as well. I don't know what Blossom's favorite color is, so I might actually change this a little bit later on. It's more on the neutral side, so they don't clash too bad. Maybe I'll switch up the carpet or do something a little bit different later on, but for right now, I'm totally okay with it. So for the upstairs hallway, I guess you could call it, again, it's a common space, so don't expect a lot. I did add in a chess table for Ben because logic just so happens to be the one skill that this kid has to master in order to get a promotion, and of course that was kind of like a non-negotiable. So for the bathroom here, we are just throwing in the last remaining matching assets and calling it a day. We're gonna go outside and kind of switch up a few things as well once I decide what I want to put next to this door. Also, yes, I do realize now as an afterthought, that door isn't matching. I'll fix it before I upload it to the gallery. And also I forgot to add in a potty for Blossom. So don't worry. Like I said earlier, I'm still learning. I'm still learning and I forget a lot of stuff. So I'm adding in a really cute vertical planter, adjusting some of the awnings to the brand new height, and then balancing out the landscaping, which you will see a little bit earlier because I threw in some rocks and then I kind of forgot to put the rest of the rocks on the other side and just wanted to make a few minor tweaks. Also, you will notice some pretty janky things happening in the backyard with the pathway. Don't be alarmed. Everything will look Gucci Poochie when I put it on the gallery, but I was experimenting a little bit and I just so happened to catch that debacle buckle on camera. So anyways, you guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, you know what to do, boo. Don't forget to go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below where the sun doesn't shine, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.
I just wanna get high, just wanna get high, just wanna get higher. Sometimes people will try to hold you back from being who you want to. Don't be questioning why, do whatever feels right, find your passion and fight. Cause we only got one chance and got one life to live. And it's do or die, gotta make it count. So lose your worries, let your problems go on until my whole body burns out. I ain't never gonna slow down. I ain't never gonna slow down. I ain't never gonna slow down. Only got one chance, got one life to live. And it's do or die, gotta make it count. So lose your worries, let your problems go